Hi, I'm Cassie, and this is Afternoon Literature. So today I am reflecting on the fact that I have now been on Booktube for a whole year. I originally started my channel because I really loved the Booktube community. I had been following it for 10 years and it had changed and evolved so much in that time. Firstly, 10 years ago, it was filled with reviews and a lot of discussion content. Then we kind of got a phase where there was a lot of tags and challenges and sometimes some silly content with the videos. A lot of original stuff was done then, but it was mostly within the YA realm. I've seen really lately over the last 2 or 3 years that Booktube has developed to include so much more. There's a whole classics version of Booktube, an adult literature version of Booktube, and I really think it's become a great community and a force within the book world that really needs to be taken seriously, and I love it. I originally found Booktube through reviews that I loved and then stayed because I enjoyed seeing the content of creators within the community. And now lately I find myself watching a lot of things like discussions or vlogs and things like that. So when I first started and decided to make my Booktube channel, I finally made that jump because over those 10 years, my outlet to discuss and talk about books had really changed. 10 years ago, I was doing my English literature degree. I had people I could talk to about books all the time, people who read just as much as me. It then changed a little bit, but I moved in with my housemate and her library collection is pretty big too, and we just loved it, so we bonded so much over that connection. Now, I live in a home with someone who does read, but he reads more rarely and he kind of reads on my suggestions and to spend time with me, but that's not his main hobby. I don't really have people I discuss books with every day, but it's something that I loved. So eventually I decided that I was going to make my own Booktube channel and become a big part of this community. 1 year on, I'm really proud of myself. Firstly, for the fact that I have got much less nervous in front of the camera and much more fluent, but also secondly, for the fact that I feel I have kind of found my space and I feel more confident with what I'm doing and where I can fit. I also find myself being really proud of the fact that I am consistently staying with a project, even if at times that consistency is incredibly difficult. Over the last few months in quarantine, this has been a saving grace because I have managed to find what I really love doing, and I hope that that will help improve my channel going forward. My day job is as a teacher and I present in front of people all the time, so it was really weird for me watching those videos back and seeing how incredibly nervous I was. I think one of the mistakes that I made was definitely making things that didn't fit with what I like or who I am. I don't really enjoy filming unboxings. I definitely don't enjoy filming vlogs, which is really weird considering I love watching them. And tag videos just aren't quite for me. There's the odd one I like to do, but in general it feels really samey, like there's things that are constantly the same questions in the same videos, or like they don't have much of a point. But what I really loved doing was delving deep into the content of books, explaining my opinion on them, or offering a point of discussion that could be looked at further. I started a TBR game on my channel called TBR Tokens, and that got me a hell of a lot of views, but it didn't get me massive amounts of interaction. It's definitely helped to position me somewhere in this community, but the interaction I've had is generally limited. I've found that doing that TBR game is stressful, and it's actually limited my reading more than I wished. So here's what I'm looking at now going forward to the next year. Firstly, I am going to scrap my TBR game. I just don't want to be limited in the TBR that I have to read. Once I've picked books that I have to read for the month, I kind of get bored of them and no longer want them. I'm a massive mood reader and I just can't do that. What was good about the TBR game was that it was making me pick up books that I wouldn't have normally gravitated towards on my collection, and so I'm still going to find a way to keep doing that and make sure that I am reading more of my books, but the actual game element of rolling a dice and so on, I'm going to stop. Emma from Thinking by My Shelf has a Balancing the Books, which I massively love and enjoy, and essentially it's a monthly wrap-up where she says any books that she has hauled and why she's hauled them, the books that she's read, and then she shows you her TBR either balancing or hopefully decreasing. I think I'm going to go back to that style. The reason is I don't really like doing haul videos, and so you never see if I haul a book. And I love doing my wrap-up videos, but then doing the TBR tokens, it kind of feels like I've repeated myself. So I want to combine them all into one. I love watching her videos, so I'm going to stick with that going forward. Secondly, in order to push me picking up other books, since I'm going to be stopping doing that, I'm going to set myself some personal challenges. But these are going to be really short form challenges. So instead of it being every single month that I have the TBR challenge and then I have to try and read a dedicated set of books, what I'm going to do is set like mini challenges. So for example, for 1 week, I will read only sci-fi, and then the rest of the 3 weeks of the month I can read what I want. Or it might be that I try and read prize winners for a week, or that I try and read a particular book over a couple of days, so on, or that I try and make this week something where I only read books that have been on my shelves for 5 years. And I will still be able to keep up then that aspect that really encouraged me to read around my library without feeling constantly restricted, which is what the TBR game currently was doing. So other than those type of videos being on my channel, I also want to include lots of reviews and recommendation videos. I have found these 10-minute book reports that I've been doing so wonderful. I love really getting to either review a book or discuss an aspect of the book in more detail, and I want to keep doing that. I'm going to expand that further, and not only am I going to do the weekly reviews, I think what I'm going to do is occasionally do a more in-depth review, which may look at a particular aspect of literature, a particular aspect of books, or maybe compares it to literary fairy, or maybe is a review that's a lot more spoilery, something like that. But I'm going to expand that further. It's why I came to Booktube, and it really has kind of dwindled. Review videos aren't that common anymore unless they're rant reviews, which is kind of disappointing because I like hearing reviews. I like hearing that balance between it, and something that I loved might be something someone else hated, or vice versa. And so it's important to me that I get to make the videos that brought me here in the first place. Finally, I want to make sure my channel is as inclusive as possible, and that is something that is so important to me going forward. So from this video, as the start, I will be ensuring that all my videos have closed captions on them as much as possible. I'm also going to try and go back to the back catalogue of my videos over time and include those, but going forward I'm going to keep this going because it's a whole part of the community that really I feel like can't access my videos even if they wanted to, and I don't want that to happen. This is a lovely safe space. It's a place for book discussion, it's a place for fun and inclusivity, and I don't want anyone separated from that. So, after 1 year on Booktube, I have really enjoyed being here, and I feel more happy and comfortable and proud of myself in doing that. I think going forward for the next year, I just want to maintain consistency and really start to ease in to making those things that I love and adore so much. I want to get so comfortable in front of reviews that it kind of feels second nature, like it does when I'm having a conversation at home with my friends and talking to them about it. And I also want to encourage my own reading to be something that I find fun and enjoyable and never a chore. So, if you would like to join me to continue on this journey on my second year on Booktube, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like and hit the notification bell because I will be posting a review on Friday, which you may be interested in listening in. It was nice to speak to you all. Have a great day.